All right, here we go. This is a sensitive topic for a lot of people. It's a triggering topic for a lot of people, both men and women. Now, but let me plug the joint and I'm going to get into this. Why men shouldn't negotiate when splitting bills. 50-50 argument. Why men shouldn't negotiate. So, there was a Facebook post. So let me just tell you the premise of the Facebook post. And it was a hypothetical situation. So I believe they said if a guy is making $70,000 a year, and if the woman is making $30,000 a year, and if the mortgage is $2,500, should they go 50-50? Now, on the surface, if the man is making 70 and if the woman is making 30, on the surface, it seems like she might not even be able to do 50-50, because you got to understand, 50-50 of 2,500 is $1,250. Right? Right. When you're talking about somebody that makes $30,000 a year, you know, once you start adding in the taxes that they pay, the medical shit, they might not be able to swing $1,250 and still be able to pay their car note, their cell phone bill, and all of that. So on the surface, you might say, nah, I'm not going to have Shorty pay 50% of that. On the surface, though, see, we got to go a little bit beyond the surface, right? Now, I'm not here to say what's fair and what's not fair. That's not what I'm here to do. I'm here to make a point. I'm going to stand on that shit, and it's going to be what it's going to be. Why men shouldn't negotiate when splitting bills. So before I get into that, let me just tell you a little something about me, just in case you don't know, right? For anyone that rock with me, y'all know when it comes to relationships, there's two things I don't do. Two things I haven't done. One, when I'm seeing a young lady, dating a young lady, I'm never going to ask a woman to be my girlfriend. Okay, I've never done that. Okay, anytime I've gotten into a relationship, women come to me with that. And if I feel like it's worth exploring, we can have a conversation. If I feel like I don't want her to be my girlfriend, I'll just tell her no. And I won't quite say it that way. What I will say is, you know, I'm flattered. I appreciate that. But I like how things are. So for the foreseeable future, I want to keep things exactly how they are now. Now, if she tries to press me later, I'll just flat out say, nah, I don't look at you that way. Okay, or I might say that in the very beginning. Now, the reason why I might stall her out and be like, I like the way things are right now, is because I don't know if in 2 or 3 months, I might not look at her in a different way. I might still be vetting her. I might still be in the process of evaluating whether or not she's someone that I can see in a relationship role, right? So me telling her, hey, for the foreseeable future, let's just keep it like this. That's because I'm still vetting her. But I'm not going to tell her I'm still vetting you. I'm not going to put it like that, right? But if I know flat out that the woman has no chance of never being my woman, I would never get into a relationship with her, then I'll just tell her, nah, I don't view you that way. I'll just let her know straight up. You're never going to be that, right? Now, so let me get back to the point I'm trying to make. Okay, I don't ask women to be in a relationship with me, right? Another thing I don't do is when I was in relationships with women, I never asked them for us to cohabitate. Oh, we should live together. We should. No, I never did that either. Okay, women always came to me with that. Okay, they wanted to be my girlfriend. They came to me. If they wanted to cohabitate, if they wanted to be my wife, all of that. They came to me. They came to me with that, right? So what I'm sitting back doing is surveying the scene, right? When I say why men shouldn't negotiate when splitting bills, anytime a woman and I cohabitate, right, there is no negotiation. Okay, what I will not do, what I will not subject myself to, is we're haggling over what a woman will and will not pay. That's not going to happen, right? So let me get back to this Facebook post. So again, the Facebook post was, if the guy made $70,000 a year, the woman made $30,000, and if the mortgage is $2,500 a month, is it fair or is it cool to go 50-50 on the mortgage? So a young lady said he can pay the mortgage. Now, this was her exact comment. He can pay the mortgage. She can pay the utilities. And to me, I'm like, no. So I responded to her comment and I said, no. I said, he will let you know what's required of you. And you can either agree to it or not. Now, the reason why I told her that was, it's because a lot of you women, you think you are in a position to negotiate. Now, if you're dealing with a simp or a pushover type dude who is just happy to have a girlfriend, he's just happy to have some in-house pussy, you can negotiate with that motherfucker. You can't negotiate with me. So if you want to cohabitate with me, I'm going to tell you what's required for you to achieve that, right? Because if we're girlfriend and boyfriend, but we live in two separate homes, we can keep it like that. So when the women came to me and said, Carol, I would love to live with you, you know, I love the fact that we see each other the way we do, but I really would love to wake up to you every morning and go to bed to you every night. Really now, what's it worth to you? What's it worth to you, right? Meaning, I'm not going to negotiate with you, right? If that's what you want, my thing is, how bad do you want it? Oh, I really want it bad. You sure? You want it bad? Just tell me what I got to do. Here's what you got to do. There is no negotiation. I'm going to tell you what's required of you to achieve that. Oh, you want to cohabitate? All right. I'm going to tell you what you're going to do financially. Now, I'm fair. I'm reasonable. But we're not going to negotiate. We're not going to haggle. That's not what we're going to do. I'm going to tell you what's required for you to achieve this thing you want to achieve. And either you can agree to it or you're not. It ain't going to be no, well, you can do this and I'll do that. No, baby girl. No, you got it fucked up. This ain't no democracy. We're not putting this to no vote. That's not what we're doing here. That's not what we're doing. Right? Okay, and not only that, you have no veto power. If you don't know anything about politics, veto is when someone puts forth a bill and then you can choose to strike it or vote it out later. Like, no, I'm gonna basically oppose that bill, and I don't remember the exact definition, but it's basically you opposing something. No, I'm gonna veto that. I don't know. I disagree with that for whatever reason, and then I think you got to get a certain percentage of the House and the Senate to vote, and then you can veto that shit. I believe that's how it works. So, don't quote me. It's been a minute since I dabbled in political science. But regardless of that, okay, it's not a democracy, and there is no veto power here, right? I'm gonna let you know what's required of you, and you have a choice. Either you're cool with it or you're not. And for me personally, I don't give a fuck if it's 50-50, if it's 60-40, 70-30, 80-20, 90-10, or if the man wants to pay every fucking bill in the house. I don't care. What I'm saying is a lot of women believe they have the power to negotiate with niggas. And again, if you're dealing with a weak motherfucker, yeah, you do. Here's the thing. And I want people to think about this. And I want you men to think about this. So let's go back to the Facebook post. The guy making $70K, the young lady making $30,000. The mortgage is $2,500. In all likelihood, okay, and I want people to really think about where I'm about to go with this. In all likelihood, if the man can afford the $2,500 mortgage payment by himself, he can also afford the utilities. What the fuck he need you for? What the fuck he need you for? So what it appears to me is he can afford to live in a place with a $2,500 mortgage, but you can't. Okay, let's. This is why feminists hate men and shit, right? He can afford to live in a $2,500 crib, but you can't. Now, to be fair, you can flip the script and you can say if the woman is making 70 and the man is making 30, right? Now, there still ain't no fucking negotiation. I don't give a fuck who making the most money. There still ain't no negotiation. I'm still a man in this motherfucking house. There still ain't no negotiation. Now, we can be fair. We can be fair. We can be fair, right? And just to give you an inkling of what I mean by that. So some of you might recall this. Some of you haven't heard this. And I'm not going to get into all the miscellaneous details, but I'll say this. My first ex-wife, she made twice as much as me. She doubled me in salary, right? So when we had a house built, or let me say that, when we were discussing having a house built, I told her straight up, I said, yo, what I'm paying right now, because at the time, she had a 3-bedroom house. She already had a house, right? I was living in a 2-bedroom apartment. So when she was talking about getting this house built, I said, yo, what I'm paying right now, like my total bills for this apartment, the utilities and the rent, I'm not paying a penny more than that at the new spot. So that means you got the difference. There is no negotiation. Oh, you want to get this house built? You want to cohabitate? This is what we're going to do. I'm not paying a penny more than what I'm paying right here to go to that new spot. I can just stay here. I got my own crib. Yeah, that new spot, yeah, them 5 bedrooms, them 3.5 bathrooms, it's a lot more roomier than this 2-bedroom crib, but I'll stay in this motherfucker before I go over there and increase my bills. Not doing it. Why men should negotiate the splitting the bills? I'm fair. Meaning I'm going to let you know exactly what's going to go down, and either you can sign up for it or you can refuse it. Baby girl, I'm not mad. You stay in your house. I'm going to stay in my little 2-bedroom crib. Now, the funny part was I was actually in a position to buy a house on my own. Not quite the 5-bedroom, 3.5 baths. I couldn't do that by myself, but I could do a house by myself, right? So my thing to her was, yeah, if you want to live there, I'm not paying a penny more than what I'm paying here. And you got the difference. You got the motherfucking difference. So basically what I told her was the mortgage, I think I paid, now bear in mind, she paid twice as much, or excuse me, she made twice as much as me, but she had more debt, right? I didn't really have any debt. So I had more capital. I had more money in my bank than she had in hers. Although she made more, but she had more debt. She had more going out than I had going out, right? So my thing to her was, this is what I'm going to do. Like, I think the mortgage split was like 55-45 or 60-40. I paid the majority of that, right? But when it came to all the utility bills, she paid most of that, including the part of the mortgage that I told her to pay. So when you added in the part of the mortgage I was paying plus the little piece of the utility I was paying, it came in right at the amount I was paying for that 2-bedroom motherfucking crib. You see, let me tell y'all something, and this is going to sound selfish as hell. I see no reason, for me personally, I see no reason to cohabitate with a woman unless I'm winning. Okay, let me say that shit again. I see absolutely no reason to cohabitate with the woman unless I'm winning. Unless I'm winning. I gotta feel like it's worth it to me. And just having in-house pussy isn't worth it to me. Right? I don't give a damn that the woman is cooking and cleaning. None of that shit is worth it to me. Because I can stay in my 2-bedroom apartment and still fuck you multiple times a week. So we don't gotta live together for me to get it on, right? I ain't gotta live with you to do all of that, and vice versa, right? When it comes to cooking and cleaning, hey, you come over here and you be cooking for me anyway. I ain't gotta live with you. We ain't gotta live together. We ain't gotta do all of that. I can stay right here in my humble abode, right, and be chilling. So for me to cohabitate with a woman, I gotta be winning. And here's the problem. And this is guys' fault. See, y'all let women negotiate with love. Let me say that shit again. Y'all allow women to negotiate with love. Okay, what do I mean? What do I mean by that? Meaning, when it comes to the splitting of the bill, you allow women to negotiate, or you allow yourself to be negotiated with behind your fucking feelings. That's not a good business decision. It's not a good business decision. It's not a good business decision to do that. It's not a good business decision for you to cohabitate with a woman and you negotiate the splitting of bills, whether you pay all the bills or you split them one way or the other, 90-10, 80-20, 60-40, 50-50, whatever you do, right? It's not a good business decision to negotiate with your feelings. It's not a good business decision to negotiate with sex and house pussy. And it's not a good business decision to negotiate with the fact that she gonna cook and clean. No! And that's what a lot of women will do. Oh, I keep the house clean. I don't need you for that. If I can afford the mortgage and the bills all by myself, and I know how to cook, and I know how to keep a clean house, what the fuck do I need you for? What do I need you for? To me, that's not a winning proposition. I gotta win. And it's not me winning at the expense of the woman. It's I gotta win. Now, we can both win. Now, peep what I'm saying. We can both win, but I gotta win. So either we both winning or I'm winning. It matters to me not. Either we both winning or I'm winning. Period. That's how that shit goes. Why men shouldn't negotiate when splitting bills, the 50-50 argument. Now, and again, if guys want to pay all of the bills, go right ahead. But what are you getting for that, though? Now, here's my thing. Here's my argument about all of that. If you're married to that woman, and she has your child or your children, yours, biologically yours, I ain't talking about hers, I'm talking about your kids. If she gives birth to one or more of your children, and they are infants or toddlers, they're not school age, and you want her to be a stay-at-home mother and wife, you don't want your kids in the daycare, right? You be like, baby, go ahead and stay at the crib. You know, you're going to rear our kids. You're going to keep the house up. You're in charge of the home. while I'm out getting to the bread, and you taking care of all of the bills, I see no problem with that. I see absolutely no problem with that. She's not working. She's a stay-at-home mother and wife. If you can afford to do that, gentlemen, do what you do. But I'll be goddamn if a woman is earning a living and she's trying to negotiate what she will and won't pay with me. It ain't gonna fucking happen. I'm gonna tell you what I require, and either you cool with it or you're not. If you're not, baby girl, we ain't never got to cohabitate. Cool. Why men shouldn't negotiate when splitting bills? Tell women what you require. Either they're cool with it or they're not. Always deal with women strictly on your terms. Gentlemen, there's nothing wrong with being selfish. You telling a woman, we're not negotiating. I'm going to tell you what's required of you. Either you cool with it or you're not. That's no more selfish than a woman saying, I want a provider. I want you to pay all of the bills and I just chill. You telling me that ain't selfish? But the other one is? Come on, man. Come on, man. Make it make sense.